There we go. And we'll take a look. Stream's okay? Sweet. We doing some dive? What's up, Weasel? Ooh, early pick. And I also have one man down. What kind of methodologies you guys got going for dive that you use that's worked out for you? Hey, look at that. Good. All right, that's what I was wondering. So this may end up being similar to last coaching, how we did with double barrier, and we were just talking about what works best with a comp on pulling off that comp and executing it. So let's start there. I do like this initiation with Monkey and Diva really sticking together on that initial dive. After that and before that, it was definitely more of a brawl. And so I'll introduce a couple of ideas. I can definitely say it would have been a harder fought match or a fight there if we didn't get the early pick and if Soldier was ready to go, because Soldier was showing up late. So a couple of ideas. I guess the first one for Brawl, or not for Brawl, I'm sorry, for Dive is soft dives. Soft dives are all about setting up and just being putting a threat, a presence out there without actually trying to hard dive. And so, for example, a soft dive here would be to take some high ground, would be to set up on a flank, would be to take the cafe. I don't know about this one, but yeah, or even like take this corner out back here like this. And you're setting up so that they are hard pressed on multiple directions. Your people are still sniping, they're still doing their stuff. Reaper's still trying to be cheeky with his flanks, and then fading away back to your healer set. And your healers are out looking after each other. Everyone's ready to support them if need be, if they end up just 6-stack Lucioing into your backline. But essentially everyone's kind of taking care of themselves. The soft dive allows you to set up for advantages that open up. You force advantages by doing a soft dive. And so that is an alternative to walking forward as a brawl and forcing our way forward with a Monkey Diva frontline, which won't do much against the barrier, especially because of our damage it being relatively low. Meaning with a sniper. Widow isn't the best barrier breaker. And so the brawl thing worked. I would still really encourage learning that soft dive and just working together to build those advantages, create those advantages where you can get guaranteed pick and move, or you can come in the cafe, get your kill, come back out, let your cooldowns come in, have your cover, or stay up there, whatever, if you're safe, and play off of that. Widow got a body shot. We got a new dive target, guys. Things like that. The strength of dive is instantly deleting somebody as soon as you're able. And your ultimates. Those are the strengths of dive. And so you jump in, you delete your target, and you either keep rolling with the victory, if you're fine, or you try to get out safely and then do it again. And yeah, everyone has a strong ultimate here. We got the nano. Anyway, yeah, I'll let you guys cover that. The only one that may not work too, like be a heavy ultimate. Normally this would be a Genji or a Tracer or someone who has the really punishing ultimate. Would be the Widow, but the Widow still brings a lot of value with picks, especially with an aggressive soft dive, because now people are backing up in a straight line. Any questions on that concept? Cool. So yeah, that's a point of practice for everybody, or even for the tank duo especially, is soft dives. Get in, but don't commit. Point number 2 is just communication. So I'll open the floor for you guys. What kind of communication style do you use for dive? Or what's your structure? Cool. Yeah, that works. There's a lot, and we can go through them, but if that really works for you guys, stick with it. Something similar that I've seen work in the past is we have one person talk, and everyone else is giving information to that one person. So for this one, it would be like Monkey. It would be Weasel. And so Weasel's calling out targets, calling out dives, soft dives, falling back, going in, whatever. He's essentially shot calling. Everyone else is simply feeding him information. And so you have five listeners and one shot caller. And then when he dies, it would go to off tank. And so off tank would clean up the fight until Monkey got back. Well, cool. So let's go ahead. So for here, definitely a soft dive up top could help. And then Reinhardt's hard pressed to know where to defend. Soldier was a really good decision, especially after he used his healing station. And then I think you guys just cleaned up in the chaos of things. Nice. Nice. I see a little bit of focus fire. We don't really need it here because you guys outnumber them. So y'all are doing great. How you guys killed that Sigma is how we want to see an initiation every fight. Claiming that high ground. Beautiful. So Sigma had about 5 people in melee range of him, and you guys were all shooting him 100% accuracy, headshots and all. If we can do an initiation like that on a dive, we're in business. That's a dive. Right. Exactly. That's an ideal dive. There's nothing that's going to save that. You guys will boop them out of the lamp. You'll kill them before the lamp pops up, etc., etc. So I think that is a good visual example of what we just saw. And cool. I love the high ground take, especially for the Widow. And then the single heal push. Zone in the enemy team. And this is where we start needing some more heals to kick in. And so we'll either need our Lucio to be our spot healer, or we'll need to keep in mind what our line of sight is on our heal. And so a lot of the time we're looking at the little arrow pips of where we're facing. For a lot of the time, the wounded, even before you're wounded, you want to know where your heals are. And so looking back at your team, knowing where your team is way more important than knowing where the enemy team's at. Because you can make decisions now based off of advantage, safety. If you get in trouble, you know where to run. I've got you in my sights. That's right. So a personal goal I give just about everybody on the teams that I've coached so far, because this isn't taught, this isn't something that you'll learn in quick play or comp, is that your team, knowing where your team's at, is more important than the enemy team. And so a concrete goal to work on that, to make it useful and practical, that concept, is this match, before every fight, I will look at my team. And so now, before every fight starts, you get a snapshot of where your team's at, and you can make a decision based off of that. Should I go in? Should I back up? Should I hold here? Take cover? Whatever. You'll get a snapshot of where your heals are, and it's really, especially as tanks and shot callers, it's really, really good practice to do that. Just look at your team, make a decision. If you make a call or make a decision blind, you may be going in there solo or with half your team. And theoretically, we can put all the pressure on the individuals who weren't there. Realistically, the guy calling the shots needs to have the information, and all that takes is a flick, way faster than using comms. Any questions on that one? Okay. So let's continue. Let's see how this fight goes. We got some wall hacks. We got some segregated peoples. And this is what happens a little bit when we play Brawl with a dive. We go in. We'll get hammered down if we're all together. I really like the high ground use. The cart is of no value to dive. It's all about winning the fight. And so we have Sigma here, who's solo. We have Moria, who is in the back. And then we have Winster. It's an easy soft dive. Really good positioning on these medium grounds here. And so this is like Winston's playground right here on these things, because you don't need to jump down. Reinhardt can't touch you. And then Diva's up here doing this too. And you're forcing them down into a little ball, and you don't even need to use your escape now. You just jump down and zap them, and you can shoot them, and they push you, and now you can escape and do whatever you need to do. Meanwhile, you're opening up line of sights for your Widow and your Anna. They're getting purples in, they're getting all kinds of stuff in, because our tanks and our front line, our Reaper, is just all over these dudes. And now they, what does a Brawl hit when they're surrounded? They panic. That's their weakness. They need to back out, or they need to go deep. They need to get everyone in front of the barrier. That's the downside to Brawl. You only have one barrier. And no mobility, except for the Lucio, which they don't have. So exploit that. That is your strength. Your mobility and your self-sufficiency is your strength as dive. So soft dive, take those high grounds, medium grounds, poke, initiate without using a jump, without using thrusters, and use them to get out, create that chaos, get those snipes in. It all comes together. Cool. So yeah, soft dive on this one, and that'll help. We got all kinds of ults going out. That would have been a cool Diva ult if it would have popped the Sigma. Generally, we want to use those with motion. That's the in general. So throwing a Diva Bomb is a more value than just planting a Diva Bomb. That's all good. If you do want coaching, I main Diva. Nice. And you can see that in and out motion. Diva goes in, Winston goes in, and then Reaper's in there too, and everyone's ready to run away. Everyone's ready to run, and that's the power there. Good job helping each other out, supporting each other. Look at that Reaper flank. Beautiful, guys. And the line of sight from the Widow. This is good. This is good. And you can see the more, if you play spread out like that, where you guys will help each other out and you're playing in your line of sights, this is so much strength. It's so much power because you don't have to commit to that Brawl. Whereas if you stand toe-to-toe with the Brawl, now you're kind of limited. You know, if you jump out, now your healers are there. You know, you're leaving people wide open. Whereas if you soft dive and you spread out like that and you're ready to help each other, you're in a prime position. Look at that. See? Already the Reaper's getting some good flank kills. Good duel. Good win. And then the... Get in there, Fractal. There you go. And this is... if you guys ever have a bomb go in, or if it's called, better yet, make that a habit if you can. Always call your ults before you do them. Even if you say, I want to ult, or can I ult, if you're asking your shot caller, etc. Just putting that information out there creates so much synergy. Because if you had said you're going to ult, now Reaper is in position to abuse that there's no barrier. Now Reaper's in position to go ham. He's not going to hide here. That ult, he's going to rely on it. He says, okay, go, ult, I'm ready. Your ult goes in, he goes with it. Now it's time to kill. And that's the same thing for any ult. If you're ever going to ult, I'll use McCree as an example. I want a high noon. I'm going to do it. It's high noon. And a nano boost comes in because our Ana was ready and getting in line of sight simply because we said we're going to ult. So you can build so much synergy simply by sharing information rather than putting all the burden on requiring that synergy and planning and timing and just saying you want to do something and you're going to do it. Opens up teamwork. Okay, cool. I'm not writing any of these down, guys. I hope that's okay. All right. And so the Reaper used his ult. And we can see the mistiming there. Calling that out and then seeing what you can do based off of what's called out is where all of this natural synergy begins to kick in. And so he could get his ult as the bomb is landing, and then you have a double ult. That kind of works the wait, that was theirs. For D.Va, one tip I'll give, you may already know this one. Basically, for D.Va's crosshair, it lands 2 crosshairs under your crosshair. So if you want to pop it like right above the Rhine shield, you go 1, 2, and then you throw it out there and ult. Actually, cool. That'll make life a lot easier on planting those bombs at that perfect pinnacle of Reinhardt's barrier. If I recall, it might actually be 2 whole crosshairs. So just be sure to take the whole jump because it's a big circle, the default crosshair. I've got you in my sights. Yeah. Just remember that natural cover. And that's both for Fractal and Bad Mojo. The natural cover will save your life, especially in dive. Yeah. And then 2 for that window. Was that our window? No. Okay. Cool. We are good. So this gets a little dangerous. I don't know if you can win that matchup, Monkey. There we go. That's true, but he's got lifesteal. Yeah, you got a big head on Monkey. Gotcha. I know we have another map. I'm going to try to get to it. That's why we're going so fast. So see that off angle? See that spread out? How Bad Mojo was ready to rock over here. He took a little bit of attention, got a little bit of damage. But this is where we can position Anna and Widow if you guys swing wide. So this is cool for natural cover, but look at your sight. Look how you can see. And it's you just got your tanks, but if you swing out here, now you got the whole fight. And you still have natural cover. You know, you still have this pillar. And then when they're turning a corner, corners are very dangerous for healers, especially Anna. So just keep in mind, every time a corner comes up, remember you need to think, I need to stick with my team. I need to keep this angle. So as they rotate the corner, you rotate with them and make sure you can get that line of sight as they go. Otherwise, Monkey jumps in and you're like, okay, now I can heal. So that's helpful. And then two, a really cool, if one of you guys plays a flanker, a fast flanker that can keep up with Monkey or keep up with Diva, essentially you guys become best buds. So like a Tracer or a Genji or a Doom, etc. Reaper kind of works there. It's just that you go so deep if they dive deep. And so you would have no hope. They can escape, whereas you would float away and then die. So these short range engagements are wonderful for having a Reaper. So that's one constraint of the Reaper. Just you guys got to watch out after him. Don't leave him out there. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so if you want help with that, if you want to give them if you give one of those guys a shot, Tracer's easier to pick up, in my opinion. Let me know. We can have a one-on-one. It'll be a good time. The cool thing is that Monkey initiates, and so you get free reign. Since you're friends with Monkey, you're going to be following around. So you're going to be like, all right, I'm waiting for him to go in. Right. Let's I'll do a scenario real quick. So right here we're doing a tank, we're doing a brawl. You know, we're fighting their tanks, we're trying to win that front line. They have a way stronger front line than we do, so we're going to need to bring the pain. We're going to need to bring a lot of damage. Maybe we'll lose. If they push as 6, we will lose. Okay. Yeah, that works. That's a good call. So I'm gonna present a different scenario unfolding here. So let's say we'll back up like a second. I don't know if I can do that. That works. Okay. So let's say we see this and we're like, all right, they got some tanks, they got some stuff. We don't know that Reaper's up there. You know, this is what we see. So we don't see much yet. So instead of meeting the Rhine, let's say we do a very soft dive. And we just rotate around. And now we're back here. And so now we have Winston, you know, zapping people away from the corner. We have Diva who's with the Winston. We have the Reaper who's still holding here, ready to do some, you know, ready to go ham. And we notice that their front line doesn't know or they're not reacting. Or even if they do, we can still outrun the front line. We can still jump back here. So now we're catching them over here. Now we're, you know, we even used the bubble on this one. And so now we're super anchored. Reaper ports in, or Reaper duels the tanks. Everyone comes up and pushes with us. And so, that's right. So now we just initiated 2 to 3 different checkmates. We initiated a checkmate on the back line because we did our initiation with our legs rather than our boosters. And so we just walked up to them like, hey guys, shoot you. And they're like, oh no, I need to run. So more than likely they'll run that way. Unless they're really pro, then they'll run to their tanks. Either way, they're wounded, they're not shooting you. You can catch them. And you can make this your initiation when you catch them. That's your initiation. So if they go that way, you can kill them. If they go that way, you can jump wide for a soft dive with a health kit, and you're still in range of your healers, and you can play here. And if you need to get out, you get out. But you still have your DPS, you still have your Reaper. You're still getting all of this pressure, and you've deleted their damage and some of their healing, because now the damage and the healing are running for their lives, whereas yours are not. I don't know what that Reaper's going to do. Your healers will have to look out after each other. Any questions on that scenario or that concept? Okay. As long as you keep them general, you're going to be good to go. If you make it like, all right, guys, we're going to the right and we're going to push to the high ground and we're going to do whatever. All right, guys, I'm going to put my barrier up. You guys get in the door, and there's a bastion. So there's 2 callouts. There's soft dive and dive. And that's it. Yeah, it means that, yeah, we're engaging, but we're still safe. We're taking care of each other. We're soft diving. So we're not hard engaging. We're holding corners. We're playing safe. It's a push with your feet, but you're safe. Or you can leap, but you would not leap into the enemy team. You would leap behind them or above them. So if Winston called soft dive and you guys jumped up here and you're like, oh, there's a Reaper, well, you would have your D.Va with you. That's a win. Hopefully you have your D.Va with you. If you don't, you would have to back up or bubble or something, or call for try to bring them out of that cubby hole so that your Widow could help, and your Anna. Right. Free ground is free ground. Right. Free flank. Yeah, you got it. That's perfect. Nice. That's a good call out, especially half health. Look at that. He's out of that fight forever. Here he comes. Now he's finally in the fight. Oh, double ult. He did. And that's the benefit too of it makes it hard, but the benefit of dive is just you can't be killed by one ult for the most part. But you're still listening to Monkey, you're still shooting that target. You're still going after squishies, you're still creating that chaos in the back line. You're getting them to look left, look right, get surrounded, but you're still in range of each other. And so going in is dangerous. For Fractal, you can see we're half health because we went... Wait. Okay, cool. Oh, I just realized too we went Brawl. Okay, cool. And so this... So Reinhardt got 6v1 essentially. And so the idea here goes back to support. So if everyone is a support, Let me back up. If you guys are playing Brawl and everybody's supporting Ryan, where's the best place that we can support Ryan in this scenario? And we'll go one by one for everyone who's here. So Mojo, where can you best support Reinhardt in this scenario? All right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. You're absolutely right. You come back here, you take out their resources. You take out their heals, you take out their deeps. Soldiers already half. If the sooner you do this, the better. And you remember, you're on a tether. So you come out here. This is free reign because Ryan moved up. You can run back. If things get scary, you can run. You got your fade, and now you're safe back here with your team. You can now support the front line. You can support the barrier after that play. Perfect. Fractal, go. You're right. It really has to be this Reaper because and you're doing great. You're matrixing the Reaper. The Reaper shreds in close range like that. And that's one of the reasons I believe Ryan dies so quickly. The other thing that you said was to fall back a little bit. Beautiful. You tell your Ryan, it's all information delivery. You tell your Ryan too deep or no healer line of sight. Whatever. Like this. And it's because we took an aggressive push, maybe to save you. Because you went in for the kill, and now Ryan went in to save you. And so now we need to dematrix not only for ourselves, but to save him. And so it's a cascade now. So the only thing we can do for him now is to sack ourselves, is to go in, make sure he gets out, because we need the Rhine. We don't absolutely need the Diva. Go in, boot people away, get your Rhine to safety. And if you can, you do a flight boop, like a fly in, boop, come back, turn off your jets, and then land behind the barrier. That's even better. Barrier breaks, get in front of Rhine. It's fine. I'd rather lose the mech than lose Reinhardt. No problem. An ult could also save him. I know in the next few shots you'll have your ult. So it really depends when you get it and when he dies. Yeah. So next up is Carl. Were you here, Carl? Okay. Yeah. That's right. Let me give you a cool idea. Let's say you were McCree right here. What's cool is you can actually kill that Reaper. He is overextended. That's right. He can't get healing. You flash, you fan, and you get as close as you can. And he's falling too, so you just flash, catch him, fan the hammer right in his face. You're up a kill. Now you're up 2 kills total. You can't do that if you're playing hyper off angle. So if you're back here or you're catching it from spawn, I didn't check if it was just playing back or if it was a spawn thing. The other option, possibly, I don't like this one as much, is playing short off angle, which is right here. And so now you're shooting the people, you can still kind of kill the Reaper. If they come up any, or if Diva dives or whatever, Reaper dives, you can support that push. This is all about how you can support, who you can support. But I really, really like the supporting my Ryan as McCree. And so I will be melee range most of the time with my Reinhardt. Unless that barrier's down, I'll be near my Reinhardt. And this is dependent on what your values are. So, yes, you can get similar value and more value depending on your ability as an off-angle support. So you would support by dealing damage at range and trying to peel for your Reinhardt via your damage in the backline. The other concept is we have a lot of people supporting Reinhardt already. And imagine if there was a stun incorporated in all of this right here. And so in all of this right here, if you guys were all together, the Reaper was with the Rhine, the Diva's with the Rhine, everyone's with the Rhine, and all of a sudden that front line gets stunned, the barrier comes down, and damage is going into Reinhardt's head. Now all of a sudden, he went from full health, full barrier to dead. Simply because we got a stun in over the barrier. That's the power of a frontline brawl. You bring so much frontline weight that if they even contend you without bringing frontliners like this, then you win. That's it. They can't do anything. They would have to throw a lamp every time you turned a corner. Simply because you stun out the barrier and you get in Ryan's face. You stun out, whatever, like this guy's overextended so he would get killed. Anyone in Brawl, anyone who runs past the barrier is the new target. The closest target is the target. And so, super technically, you wouldn't even need callouts in a traditional Brawl, old school Brawl. Everyone in melee range of Rhine, you can fan out a little bit for off angles, just so they all can't hide behind the same pillar. And then get that stun in, and everyone shoot the stun. Now, there's a lot of disadvantages and all that too, and we can get into that if you guys choose to learn Brawl. But right now we're learning some dive. Sort of. We transferred to Brawl. Gotcha. So yeah, I would argue that McCree is in a better support position here because he can use his stun to save his Reinhardt. He can use his stun to line up kills for his team. You can. Yeah, I think this is also true. So Reaper would be coming in and you see it and you flash and go in and fan. Maybe you need to roll. Right. It's cutting off. So let's say Reaper went after Lucio. Now what are you gonna do? You can't support your team. You're too far away. Right. That's the beauty of old school Brawl as well, is that everyone's in range of each other. So even your Anna's up here, even, you know, everybody's here. So if someone gets jumped, you guys got a stun on call. Y'all are ready to rock and delete anything that shows up. So hopefully that answers that a little bit. Off angle's good. It really requires you to hit those headshots and, you know, stuff like that. It takes your stun out of half of the team, or, you know, the side of the map that you're not on. But it still does good. This is a new age style of play. New age is essentially bringing in all the other heroes that aren't frontliners. And McCree can be used as that. He uses his flashbang to duel rather than to support his team. So there's two styles of brawler. And then finally, Spartan. What say you? How can you best support your Reinhardt? Or what would you change? Yeah. Over here. Or over here. That's right. That's right, man. You already had it lined up. Look at that. That's exactly right. And so the other concept, so that's a really good spot. This is optional. It's debatable that this may also be a really good spot. Gotcha. And that may have been the same thing for Carl too. I didn't get to see. We are all ready to rock. Yeah, that's a 6-stack right there. We just got split. Yeah, see? It's the stutter step. It's that I'm going to take a step back and take a step forward. I'm going to do my dance. Don't do your dance. All right, next fight. So good answers, everybody. Cool. I'm glad y'all can see that. All right. Yeah. You're getting creative now. That's good. I would really try that stuff out, even if it's just duo. You know, if you guys need to schedule a time together just to play, just to like, hey, let's try to coordinate ults. It's like, yeah, do it. If y'all master it together, that doesn't take anyone else. Duo, so I'll teach a lot of duo, trio, 4-man and 6-man. I don't teach 5-man because that's really hard to work with your pug. Usually it's a lot easier to work with a duo than it is a single dude. Yeah, get in there. I love that flank. Love that support on the high noon. Hey, good reaction. Good. Perfect all around. So it was divide and conquer. You guys had a front line fight. You had a back line fight. Everyone played their role. You guys did great. And again, this is a little more of a split. Oh, did that ult get eaten? No, she threw it up. Okay. All right, that works. And may be hard with the respawn, but we'll see how it goes. People get back just in time. Good. Keep that stagger rolling. I'm glad y'all stayed there and fought. Especially as two anti-tank heroes like that. That's pro. Since you both have defensive cooldowns, I would really encourage being even more aggressive next time you fight a Ryan 2v1. Simply because of the stun and because of the shotguns. If he hammers, he dies. And so next time, just encourage each other. Just be like, go, go. If you get in trouble, roll. Or if you get in trouble, fade. That's, you can really put some hurt on any tank you want as those two heroes.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Gotcha. For here, we aren't set up. We're not holding a choke. We're not holding a corner. For Brawl, Brawl works off of natural cover. If you're ever out in the open or if you're spread out with Brawl, you're not playing Brawl. You're playing Chaos. I don't remember. Did I describe Chaos to you guys? Okay. Good. Yeah. So this would be a Chaos setup. You have your Rhine ready to flank with your McCree. You have your Hog holding the point with your healers. And then you have Bad Mojo ready to flank on Reaper. I think he already went in, though. Yeah, he's already in. So he has nowhere to run. He's outside his tether range. So Ryan needs to go in and make that happen. Everyone else needs to go in, too. With Brawl, so we're getting a 2-for-1 lesson here. So any questions on dive before we move to Brawl? Okay. For Brawl, you always want to move corner to corner. Your shield is used to push or to fall back. Your shield is never used just to hang out and be like, hey guys. And so this goes the same for all tank abilities. Maybe a little different for Hog. But Orisa, your barrier is used to push or fall back. You can use, stagger barriers. Like if you have some downtime, yeah, put a barrier down because it'll be back by the time you need it. That's great. That's not the active way to use it, though. The active way is to do something with it, to get value out of it, meaning take ground, back up, cut off a sniper, defend your sniper, make it a duel mechanic, bounce between it. Same thing for your fortify. All right, guys, we need to take this point up ahead. I'm going to barrier forward to block healing, kill Reinhardt. I have fortify. I'm right here. I'm shooting. I'm shooting. I'm shooting. We took all of this ground. Shields up again. Boom. We're holding this corner. We're holding this corner. So my abilities were used to push. Same thing for Sigma. Grasp. Grasp forward, etc. Okay. So anyway, point being, natural cover is required. Because once those abilities are off cooldown, once your barrier needs to recharge, you have to cut off the enemy team in order for that to happen. And then for Ryan, it's very important. If you pulse your barrier, you stop the regeneration. And so don't tap the barrier. If you are resting, rest. Don't come out here and be like, oh, I gotta shoot my gun, I gotta poke. Rest. It's okay. Your guys will get the shots. They're using corners too. All right, barriers are full, barriers ready. Come out here, pick your fire strike, throw it, or come around blind, throw it, whatever. Point being, you need that barrier for when they push. If you push, or if they push and your barrier is dead, you lose. Unless you have an ult. So that's the mechanic here. So there's a Rhine duel that's going to happen. You want to swing at max range. So you pre-swing. So my hammer's on the right side of the screen. And I come around and I hit him. And I come back and I hit him. and I come back, and I hit him, and I come back, and I hit him. And I'm building ult. I'm building ult. I'm building ult. So a lot of Brawl.
Red
Yeah. And I'll ask you this too as Reinhardt.
1. Attackers
And there is a,
defend
now that I think about it, there is an idea that I can see. But what is the value of holding this high ground as Reinhardt? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And so the only thing I can really think of is maybe, yeah, you help out your hit scan a little bit. You know, they're probably just going to shoot the barrier a bunch. He's got a range nerf now anyway, so he's just going to tickle him. Um, and then maybe if they ignore you, you can jump the back line. I could see that being a thing for sure. But it's a risk because you're giving up the point. You're giving up. It's not you. You don't stop him in the choke. So I generally advise holding that high ground with Reinhardt. You want to hold a corner. Corners are your strength. You're essentially a blade, a revolving hammer on a wall, and they can't do anything about it. They're like, okay, how are we gonna? We can't even see the what this hammer is attached to. We just see the hammer. We can't kill it until we engage or until we, commit. And so you're holding the choke just by standing there. And so they come in, you got purpled, you change your mind, you go back around, and now they're through. Gotcha. Okay. So if I haven't hammered it home by now, corners are important. The Rhine duel is important. Keeping your cover is important, and playing cover to cover is important. These are all mechanics of Brawl. So if there was a lot of downline pressure, you would push. Oh, guys, I got to recharge my barrier. All right, Lucio speed, go. And you pick where you want to go. Maybe you go up the stairs. It doesn't matter. All right, guys, I got to rest my barrier again. Just follow me. All right, it's full. Go. And now you make a play. It's all based on if you're ready for the fight or not. Are you full health? Is your barrier full? You can take those rests cover to cover like a Marine or something. Yeah, Bad Mojo, I think you gotta go for a health kit or something. Wow, you made it. What is that? So Weasel's playing the corner. That's good. So if you go out there, you went out there and you used your barrier and you were like, we just killed Ryan. We can do something. Yes, you can do something, but you have to tell your whole team. Otherwise, you're forced back in the corner you just came out of. So right here, it's like, get the Ryan. He dies. Push. And you just go ham. You go to the next corner. That's it. You just walk. You can jump and shield. You can hold your shield down. It doesn't matter. Thing is, you want to take that next corner. And you want to bring your team with you. And this is about to be a good duel up here. Cool. And it works anyway. The only downside is we missed the stagger. But not really because hog. So if you ever, I guess the point I want to say too, going back to this Rhine death, you instinctively saw the advantage. And you went for it. That was a good instinct. You saw the advantage and you acted. Beautiful. We got to let everyone else know too. And this goes for our DPS. And so DPS get some, picks. They just killed 2 or 3 people. Shout that out. That's advantage. Don't expect everyone to automatically, be Grandmaster and be like, oh, I see everything all the time. Let them know. It's fine. It's good. It's good practice. And that way, it's all information sharing. Hey guys, we're in advantage. I got 3 picks. Or got a pick. Maybe the junk bombs? Or a trap? Oh, darn it. Yeah, no! Helix rocket. That's unfortunate. And so we're going back up top. We're giving them ground. Their backline does not want to come in. So right now it's all duels. Like, they don't even have a barrier. And so that's Hog Central right there, that high ground hook. Yeah. Right? They were so staggered. You see stagger like that? That's killing time. Even if you can super technically stay up there and hook the Reinhardt too. And then your Reinhardt pushes at the same time. Like, you coordinate that stuff. You're like, I'm going to hook the Rein, push. And as soon as he pushes, the Reins meet, you hook. And now everyone's like, oh. I think we're just playing split. And this is one of the weaknesses of a brawl. You want your stack still. Yeah, we got Carl's playing a little bit back like a Ashe. There we go. There we go. And then 2, just be sure to guard your Hog. If your Hog ults especially, get out there in front of him. Be that shield. And then call out that the ult. No one was reacting. So like, I had no idea that ult was coming because no one was moving in. If we had said, I'm going to ult, push in, now people are ready for stuns. They're ready for fans. They're ready for teleports and discords. They're ready for purples. Everything can now come into play because we're not surprising our own people. Cool. All right. Good deal. Hey, look at that. Run. Good. That's also the downside of a traditional brawl. If you're all stacked like that, you really need to check your flanks. You need to be very diligent. And then 2, this I noticed the duel. This was a 1v1, which generally will not win. Carl won't, or the McCree won't win a duel against the D.Va because there's also a baby D.Va. And so this would be call for help. This would be, first off, retreating downwards, a level or all the way around to your team, or calling for your support. In this case, it would be D.Va. And so now your D.Va can block for you while you annihilate the enemy D.Va. So remember to call on help, call on each other, and smash that help button. If you guys bound those keys we got going in, falling back, and help, use them. Your characters' voices are way more distinct than your voices in real life because they're voice actors. It's a lot easier to hear McCree shout for help than another voice, shout for help. Same for Reinhardt. Okay. So we're getting ready. We're still limbo lining a little bit. We want to stack up. Doh. So we can see the effects of the limbo line and being spread out and not having line of sight and being our high ground and stuff as Brawl and our flanks. That's the only reason we're really dying. 1 is spread out, 2 is high ground, 3 is flanks. You won't die any other way. Brawl's too tanky. Unless you just give it, you stop trying. You're not going to die from a front attack. You're going to die from everything else. Oh. Again, call for that support. This is you guys are, it's working, but you guys are attacking like ninjas in a movie. You're going in one at a time. Okay, maybe it's not working. I take that back. So if we, yeah, it is close, but back here, you guys had some time. Where is it? Where's Reaper? I think this is right. So you still have your diva holding the point, and your Reaper. Oh no, this was. Did I miss it? When did he ult? We'll go back even further. So right here. So you guys have some time. Reaper's wanting to ult and kill all the squishies, but he gets countered because he gets caught. And so if you get caught, don't go in because we still need you. You can fade, you can hold the point, and you can say, guys, I'm ready to ult. I need you, all while you're running. Like while you're right here, you can say, I'm ready to ult, push. I want to ult, push, ult. And now your team's here. Or now your team's here. Now you have a diva matrix. Now you have a heal. Now you have other stuff. Because your team walked forward. And look at them. Instead of taking this route and being like this, and then ulting, you can go like this. And look at your team. I want to ult, guys. I'm ulting. And then go. If you had looked back, it might even have cut this corner. So I think you were out here, right? Before you went in? Okay. Gotcha. Right. And you still have your fade. So remember that. You're like a Mei almost. So you can, Mei runs out there and turns into an icicle or an ice block. That same kind of thing. Okay, cool. And then 2, this comes down to you guys can trade off the point. So here was a little hard because they killed you fairly quickly, and we watched it at 2x speed. It wasn't that fast. They killed you sequentially. If I would argue that because you had Ball and because you had Diva and because you had these heroes on the point, the rest of you died faster than you would have by playing in their backline. So for example, Diva's holding the cart. We know we have at least, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. Instead of playing on the cart in the front line, especially as a weaker hero like a Tracer or Ana or whatever, what if we play here? Now all of a sudden they need to choose. Do they shoot the guy holding the car, or do they shoot the guy that's about to kill them? And you have cover. So now all of a sudden you can be a thorn. And now the guy on the cart's no longer taking damage because they're dueling you. And all of you are doing this, not just one. And so your tank says, take the point. they see somebody and they call their name. And or a ball arrives. All right, I'm on cart. You can get off. Now ball stays on the cart. And so it can be a little risky, but in reality it creates a win for that risk. The alternative is what you saw here. Everyone stacks on the cart. Everyone needs to be on the point, be on the point, be on the point, and you die for that point, in which case you lose. Okay.
60 seconds remaining.
Good, we're holding the corner. We get Carl a little closer, we can use that stun. That would have been a kill with that stun. And a fan that hammer. Break that barrier faster than they can break yours. Because this is a barrier war. This is advantage time now. Even though you're half barrier, if everyone was stacked on this corner, now you could push. And you wouldn't be breaking any line of sights.
30 seconds remaining.
And this is where you would spam. I'm going in, I'm going in. So Ryan's the only one that needs to be on the point. We can be taking off angles. We can be helping our Ryan with those hits. This is good. This is what's keeping our Reinhardt alive. This is a spread out. Good. Use those ults. Use that hammer. Get in there. Get in there. Cool. No. We're slowly losing it. Unfortunate. Get that trap. Yep, I like the mines. If you're ever going for a stall on a Junkrat, remember your vertical. Remember your you can jump around with those same charges. Ah, gotcha. Makes sense. Cool. Well, I think that was a good match. We saw a lot of the strengths come in of what I was talking about. We can probably take a quick look at this next one. I might just play it through without pausing.
Traveling to room ready for battle. 1. Attackers incoming.
Good.
Stop the payload.
Yeah, this is double barrier. Let's see what y'all got. So specifically, the first thing I'm looking for is off angles. You guys are playing as what I would call like a dime cannon, but you're not on a dime. Everyone's just kind of fending for themselves while the cart goes forward. You're dueling like 6v1, 6v2, 6v3. And we can't capitalize because we don't have a stun. We're not built for that. We're built for off angles. Good. We got some kills in. This is even trade. And so a lot of what we're wanting to see now is Orisa's over here doing a lot of pressure. Sigma's over here doing a lot of pressure. We got the healers keeping each other up in the back and, you know, messing with the tank, and the DPS is supporting each other. Luna can counter that Genji. And then we need Carl set up so that Carl's not constantly defending herself. Carl can work on getting headshots rather than dueling. And like, oh, I need to save my life. Oh, I need to whatever. No, Carl needs shots like that, like this, where it's easy mode. And then swing around. Carl can swing. This is if you're ever playing a Brawl. Oh, I said I wouldn't pause. I'll just slow it down. If you're ever playing a Brawl, keep in mind they have one barrier. Your angles are your strength. Look at this. Like, and if McCree's over here, That's all right. Yeah. That's good. Good call. And so we stagger in a little bit. This is one of those where we do want to push out and fan out. Make sure Orisa's on the point. Oh no! Do you guys use a shot caller, or is it kind of communal? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to share with you guys a document that might help. There's a division of power that I used in Bronze No More, where essentially tanks call movement, healers call positioning corrections, and DPS call like low health or whatever. I don't remember. And then the tanks make the decisions for movements, etc. But it's just a... Nice, good. I'll pause here really quick just because we were on that topic, but also we burnt a lot of alts here. For Spartan, never, or if you can, try not to barrier on a square. You always want to cut the square. So you always want to window diagonally. If you window this way, you only have this line of sight. And then maybe if you come out this way a little bit. Okay. And so even if you barrier here like this, this cut it's restrictive. Because you have to go right here and you can only do so much. So if you put it diagonally across a corner like this, then now not only can you shoot through it, but you can shoot through it this way too. You get the whole angle because you use the diagonal. You cut the square into a triangle. Does that make sense? Cool. And then be careful with the double ults. Again, calling that out will really help with that. And then we'll get this next fight going. So you see they just pushed you hard. That's that brawl. Nice. Well played. Good job falling back. I think the reflect helped too. And so the only other thing is if they ended up pushing you and you guys are double barrier still, if they ended up pushing you like that and you were up here with high ground and off angles and stuff, you're dueling their healers now. Like you are catching their backline while their front line just keeps pushing. And so it can really diffuse a brawl with high ground and flanks. If you guys are ever facing a brawl, remember that. High ground and flanks, high ground and flanks. Even one character flanking does so much to a brawl. I think Spartan, remember that video that I shared where I think I was shot calling as Ryan and then Diva and then Orisa? If you guys want to take a look at that, we do a brawl and then we do a dive. So if you guys want to look at the dive section where I'm Diva, you can see the synergy with Monkey. You can see, maybe get some ideas from that. And the soft dives and the aggression and the coordination. If you want to ask questions on it too, it's definitely something that you can look at to study rather than to look at for entertainment like you would a YouTube video. It really can. It incorporates a lot of what I teach.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Nice hook. This is a little bit of a hybrid, and we're playing it like a brawl. So that's a hard dive, and it cost us our life. If we had soft dove, we would have gone up here on the gas station, or we would have gone on this high ground. And we could still zap, we could still be a threat, we could still cause them to back up, and we don't even have to shoot our gun. That's the power of soft dive. Cool. That works. You can see Happy Feet taking that back still. Getting that damage in. Now he's going to end up being staggered. Gotcha. It's a little bit of a soft dive. That's all right. Oh, man. That's okay. So just keep in mind with a soft dive, if you guys play a hybrid like this, you do want to pressure that back line every single time you can, and do whatever you need to do it. If you need to put one person on the back of the cart to push it and everyone else plays off angles, do it. And that's good. I like that combo with the Spartan and Weasel going up on the high ground. That's definitely opportunity for Carl to play into that. So if you guys do stuff like that, just keep in mind, you go ham, go in together. Oh, they went in, I have to go in too, kind of thing. I need to take aggressive positioning to get these picks, even though I'm taking a risk. Because it's go time. And then for Carl, man, okay. And what did you guys do anything outside of Monkey for the Widow?
60 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Cool. So there's a few things you can do for Widow. One is dive, like you guys did. 2 is a barrier, because if you guys play melee range of the barrier, Widow's not going to do jack. If you guys play your corners, Widow's not going to do jack. It's when you're out in the open, you're going to get picked. And then in addition, you had a duel. You had a duelist. So it was Widow v Widow. You just got to set up that duel to be unfair. And that's it. So you can, those are your options. Barrier, dive, or barrier dive and set up a duel. And you guys had 2 of those at the beginning. It's just that we have really hard dives with your Monkey rather than setup positioning. And so he's not being cheeky. He's not going in the building. He's not going around the flank. He's not drawing attention. Right. Exactly, yeah. And so if Monkey was to jump from here at the Widow, then he's probably going to get headshot. He's probably going to land. The Widow's probably going to jump down. He's probably going to jump down. The Widow's going to grapple back up. Widow's going to get healing. Everyone's going to look. Whereas if he jumped over here, now they have something wrong. Like, guys, there's a monkey in our back. Guys, there's a monkey. Guys. And he's ready to jump. He's ready to jump. He didn't burn his cooldown. Widow can jump down all she wants. And he's, monkey's saying, I'm ready. I'm ready. You guys ready? Okay, go. Right. Right. Exactly. So if they commit resources to Widow, those resources aren't on the front line. You guys win. If they commit resources to the front line, that Widow's dead. So you put them in a checkmate. They're going to lose somebody. All because of the soft dive. And I got the impression soft dive wasn't a tool before. So I think with that in your tool bag, you guys will be better off with diving situations or hybrid situations. You can really use that tool to set up engagements. Brawl does not want to be surrounded. If you surround Brawl, you will win. Their only contester is really going to be Diva. She's the only one in Brawl that will generally be in Brawl that has mobility. Awesome, guys. Any questions? Awesome. I'm also an Echo main. If you're ever dueling as Echo backline, don't use your jets until you're ready to fight. Because you are dead silent. And now you're ready to fight. And now you can one-shot combo. Boop. Stand still. Right click. Left beam. So it's a left click, right click combo. Sorry. That's the full combo. I really... So she... Yes. Well, it really depends. It depends on what you know and what you play and how deep you are in each of those characters. Okay. Then yes, Echo. Reason being is because she blends roles. She can be the Junkrat and she can be the Genji. She can be the Tracer, one-shot combo. The issue is that she's more complicated to master and to learn than Tracer and Genji and everybody else. Because they only have one toolkit to learn, whereas she has two. One is how to flank. And basically, if you want to teach yourself how to flank on Echo, you just flank. Like this match, I will flank every single fight. At the start of every fight or before every fight starts, I will flank. And when my team engages, I will engage. And that's it. So you take your time. That's the key. You take your time, you line up your shot, and that's as soon as you can learn that and do that, you're going to be one-shotting people left and right. And they're going to be saying, nerf Echo. And she still hasn't been nerfed. But yeah, you can one-shot any one of these backlines. Yeah, drilling is the fastest way to learn something. This match, I will XYZ. And it's towards building an instinct. So now if you're ever put in that situation, you have experience to call in. And so that drill. In my opinion, yes. She's the most forgiving. Because she has so many ways to get out of danger when you do make a mistake. Cool. Any other questions? All right. Sorry this one went a little longer than usual, but hopefully it was super helpful with Dive and also with Brawl. And if you guys want any solo coaching, let me know or post it on Mithril. And then that offer is still on the table too. If you guys want a coach on the team, let me know, and we can work on that. And we'll get. I stopped working on that spreadsheet, but we can get that spreadsheet in full operation with written out goals for each individual person, what you're working on, how to work towards big goals, etc. Yeah, that's the one I stopped working on, but let's see. I don't want to make any assumptions. I'd imagine I would just apply or you would just recruit me or something. But let me talk to I forgot his name. Evo, that's right. Let me talk to Evo. I'll send him a message tonight, and then we'll see at least how to get that going. And if you guys would like to recruit me, no, we'll go from there. And if not, this is totally cool too. So no pressure either way. Sweet. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. And technically too, I'm a coach slash owner of Press Q crew. I'm not a player. So they may have issue with that too. I have no idea. So we'll see. Evo. All right. Cool, guys. Well, if you have anything for me, let me know. But until then, until next time, y'all have a good week. Peace.